Welcome back, Yappers! Today, Ruchi and I are both back in the studio to discuss the newest installment of the Knives Out movie series, Wake Up, Dead Man. We discuss everything from the big reveal about Martha, the movie's commentary on the current political profile of America, and themes of faith and how they were portrayed in a really nuanced way in this movie. Let's dive in.
Hello, everyone. Surprise, it's me.
You're here!
I'm back for one night and one night only in December, and then I will be back for multiple nights only. Yappers, for those of you who don't know, my sister is having, big fat Indian wedding this month. She's had multiple events. So we were basically traveling all of December. So even right now, I am recording this from Asheville, North Carolina, which is very cute. Love it here. But yes, she's the main event wedding is next weekend, which is unfortunately when Emily in Paris comes out next weekend. So I don't think I'll be able to record. Unless I magically am able to. No, probably not. Because I have to, I would be driving up from Miami during that time that we would have to record. Well, anyway.
Anyway, wake up, dead man?
Question mark. Yeah, so, you watch that new movie that came out? Oh my god, I didn't think about a transition for this at all. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Hey, dead man, wake up.
Aggressive. Okay, question. I'm just gonna ask you if the title of the movie gave you any indication of what was gonna happen. Did you think about that?
Oh, I did not even think about the title until just now. No. Well, yeah, no, not really. But I think, okay, maybe we should just get into it and then we'll talk about this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So, Yappers, today, Shalini and I are talking about Wake Up, Dead Man, the third installment of the Knives Out series. Like all the other Knives Out movies, this is a standalone movie, so you can watch it without having watched the other movies. The only thing in common is that it features a whodunit that is eventually solved by the detective Benoit Blanc, who is played by Daniel Craig. And it's a family favorite, so you can guess who the murderer is along with your family, and it always comes out during the holidays, which is very fun. I think the previous installments... Yeah, because I think Knives Out itself, the first movie, came out during the holidays, and then Glass Onion also came out during the holidays. And so this is the third one, Wake Up, Dead Man.
Nice.
Yeah. And just as a reminder, we will be talking about spoilers. So if you haven't seen this movie, this is your final chance to stop listening, go watch the movie, come back, then listen to us. Okay. We will continue.
Spoiler-friendly zone commencing.
Spoiler-friendly keyword. Okay, so just as a reminder for names, the plot features the suspects Judd Duplessis, who is a former boxer turned priest, the victim, who is Monsignor Wicks, Dr. Nat Sharp, the doctor, Lee Ross, the author, Vera Draven, and her adopted brother/son, I don't know, Cy Draven, Simone, the cellist, and Samson Holt, the groundskeeper. Oh, as well as Martha, the church administrator.
Yeah, church administrator, yeah.
Yeah, Martha, the church administrator. Okay, what did you think? Rating? What did you think? Yeah.
Sure, yeah, okay. I'll start with the rating and then talk about why. I would say quality, I'll say 4 out of 5 on quality.
Okay.
And enjoyment, 4 out of 5. Yeah. I really liked it. So the reason I gave 4 out of 5 on quality and not 5 out of 5 is because I think they really underutilized all the suspects. it was such an ensemble cast, and they barely featured any of the actual suspects. And it was mostly just like Daniel Craig, Josh O'Connor, who played Judd, um, and Martha, Glenn Close.
Yeah.
And so it was like mostly them. But there were so many, like we didn't get that much of Kerry Washington. We didn't get that much of Mila Kunis. We didn't get that much Andrew Scott. Like there was just so much potential that they didn't tap into. But I did really enjoy it. And I am not Catholic, in case yappers didn't know. And so I also learned a lot about the Catholic Church, and I thought they portrayed faith very well, both like the good and the bad side of faith and the good and the bad side of non-faith. So, yeah,
Mm.
I
Yeah,
really liked it.
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point about the suspects. I think I also feel like all of the trailers had all of these like big names in them, and I was like, oh my god, like Kerry Washington is in this, Mila Kunis is in this is gonna be crazy. And then actually watching the movie, I was like, Mila Kunis was like barely in this, I felt. And then
Yeah.
even Kerry Washington, I was like, there are some like great shots of her smoking a cigarette, but like that was kind of it. So yeah, I totally agree with your point on the quality aspect. I would say my enjoyment is still a 5 out of 5, just because I love the Knives Out series. So I feel like it's always such a great family favorite, and there are very few movies that are family favorites and a series, and you kind of know what you're going to get every single time. And to have done that now 3 times in a row, I think is great. So 5 out of 5 for enjoyment.
Okay, curious why you say family favorite. Do you watch this with your family?
I do. Do you not?
Oh! Never talked about this series with my family ever.
Oh, okay. What do you watch with your family?
Honestly, this movie series is up my family's alley. But my parents really like action dramas. They also mostly watch shows, not movies.
Mm.
So yeah, action dramas. If there's like spy stuff, they love that. They love military
Zootopia
stuff.
2.
Right up their alley.
Yeah, I feel like
yeah.
you guys would hate Zootopia 2, considering how you and Anju both don't like animated stuff.
Wait, I like animated stuff.
Really?
I mean, I like kids movies. I love kids movies. I don't like
okay.
anime.
Okay, so that's why you didn't watch K-pop Demon Hunters until everyone was
Yeah.
like, you have to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know Anju doesn't like animated stuff because I was telling her
she
about
loves
how
Shrek. That's like her favorite movie of all time. So
but she doesn't like comic stuff. Like I was telling her about Avatar:
yeah.
The Last Airbender, and she was like, I just like have never watched that because I don't like animated stuff. And I was like, you have to watch it. So that was a big pandemic show for us. But then she ended up liking it.
Oh, cute. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to draw the line between animated stuff I like and animated stuff I don't like, but I do love most kids movies. I just
Okay.
haven't given many kids shows a chance. Maybe that's the difference.
Maybe that's the line.
Yeah.
Movies versus shows.
Yeah.
I
But
love kids
loved
everything.
Zootopia.
I heard
Loved
Zootopia 2 is very good. So I haven't seen it yet, but I'm very excited to maybe watch it if there's time.
Cute. Okay.
Wow, we just skipped straight to
Wake Up
Binge in
Dead Man?
Progress.
Wake up, Dead Man!
Shalini. We had the same idea. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so going back to Wake Up Dead Man. As yappers, as you know, if you're longtime listeners, you know that Shalini and I have this theory about the person you most medium suspect is actually the person who ends up committing the crime. And the most famous example of this was that random show that we watched in Colorado, which I always forget the name of.
The Perfect Couple, I think, with Nicole Kidman and who else is it? Dakota Fanning. Was most medium
Great.
suspect.
Yeah, so anyway, we applied this theory at The Perfect Couple for the show The Perfect Couple, and we nailed it. So it was awesome. And so now we're just trying to apply this theory to all of these different murder mysteries. I think originally it comes from The Office, so we can't take all the credit. So question, Shalini. Who did you most medium suspect, and were you correct?
I was incorrect, but I had the right line of thinking, I think, because I was also, well, my line of thinking being, who do I most medium suspect? But there were a lot of most medium suspects because they didn't really pay attention to the cast of characters at all. And so I thought it was Andrew Scott, whose character's name I'm forgetting, but he was the author. Didn't
Lee
really have
Ross.
a reason. Lee Ross, yes. Didn't really have a reason to suspect him other than they didn't show him very much. And so I was like, yeah, most medium suspect him. And then my sister thought it was Kerry Washington, whose name I'm also forgetting in the movie.
Draven? Vera Draven.
Oh yeah, Vera Draven. Because but there's a reason for this, and then she's like, okay, maybe because there's a reason, then she's who I most suspect, so it's not her. But because she was like, she was bitter about what her father had done and his connection with the church, and like bringing her little brother but not into her life, and like she said, I became a lawyer to make the world a better place, and maybe she saw murdering as making the world a better place. Anyway, that was why she suspected him, which I thought was a good, like, she had a good motive. Who did you suspect?
So I can't tell if, the problem with the most medium suspect theory is that once you identify who you most medium suspect, they then become the person who you most suspect, and therefore not who you most medium suspect. So
True.
I don't know anymore. But there was a certain point where I suspected Martha, and I was like, it's going to be Martha. But wait, now that I most suspect Martha, it's not who I most medium suspect. So it's not Martha. I just I just thought too much. But then it ended up being Martha, and I was like, oh, okay.
True. Yeah. I guess it was Martha. She was behind the whole thing. I guess her and Jeremy Renner, whatever his name was. Oh, okay, Dr. Nat Sharp.
Yes. So this is my second bullet point is the ending explained. Let's talk about this.
Let's do it.
My understanding is that there were ultimately like two teams of people working together, right? There was Monsignor Wicks working with Cy Draven, his illegitimate son. And then there was team Martha and Nat and Samson working together to try and get Eve's apple to get Eve's apple before Monsignor Wicks could get Eve's apple. Okay, yes. Correct. Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay. So then what actually happened is Monsignor Wicks is like going on his tirade, and then he goes into the closet. He drinks the tranquilizer that was put there by Martha. Right?
Yes, that was put there by Martha. So she pretended like she was in on it with him.
Really?
Well, how else would he know that it's there?
Because he always drank when he was in that closet.
But he went into that closet with the intention of pretending to die, no?
No, I don't think so.
How was he planning to get it?
So he called it... Wow, I'm so glad we're talking about this. Okay, so he called the crypt opening place, owned by Louise. Love Louise, by the way. So he called the crypt opening place, and then they were like, okay, yeah, we'll open it for you. And that was the extent of his plan. Like, he was just gonna open the crypt, walk in, get the jewel, done. The end. That was the extent of his plan. And then he was gonna go, like, close down the church, run for governor, whatever Cy convinced him of. But then Martha was like, we can't let him do that because, one, he is going to shut this place down. I have no purpose if this place is shut down. He's gonna run this like scorched earth campaign. All of our secrets in this little inner circle of ours are gonna be released. And then I think it's gonna be bad news bears all around if he does that. So that's why she enlisted Nat to help her out, because she needed access to the medical grade pentobarbital.
Why did you say it with the accent?
Because it's really fun to say with an Indian accent. So she gets the pentobarbital. It's not the same, you know. She gets the pentobarbital. She gets the pentobarbital from Dr. Nat Sharp, fills the flask with the tranquilizer. Then he drinks the tranquilizer, gets knocked out. That's when Judd hears the clingy sound of the flask hitting the floor. Then Dr. Nat Sharp comes in, actually does the deed of
putting the real knife in.
Yeah, putting the real knife in and then actually killing him. And then also wants to get rid of the flask, doesn't see the flask because Judd has hidden it and is like, oh my God, oh well, we'll come back to this later. Then all the police come, they grab the body, he's officially dead. Then when Samson is constructing the coffin, they put Monsignor Wicks's body like underneath the coffin, and then they put Samson dressed in the robe and everything in the coffin. Samson, bless his heart, doesn't really know what's going on. He just trusts Martha. That's why Martha's like, you will rise again, Samson. And he's like, okay. And then they put the the thing on the coffin. Then he goes into the crypt. And then in the middle of the night, he's like, okay, I have the signal from Dr. Nat, I think, right? Then Samson is like, okay, I'm free. He like opens the coffin. He walks out the Lazarus door, then meets up with Dr. Nat Sharp. He's like, I have Eve's apple. We're good to go. Oh shit, Judd saw us. He can't see us. Then, but they're like having this conversation while Dr. Nat is looking at Eve's apple and is tempted by Eve's apple and is like, I'm gonna kill Samson and have Eve's apple all to myself. And then does that. Judd gets blamed for it. Poor man Judd. And then they go then Martha shows up at his house. Okay, wait, this is where I get confused. Okay, Martha shows up at his house. Yeah, go for it.
I think when she saw that Samson was dead, she was like, my Samson, my baby. That's my boy. And then she goes to Dr. Nat Sharp's house because she knows what happened. She's like this greedy bitch. And then she knows, I don't know how she knew that he was going to poison her. That's what I don't understand. Because then
I think she knew. Oh, go for it.
Well, okay. I was just going to say, like, somehow she knew that he had put the pentobarbital in her tea, and then she switched the cups so then he was poisoned, and then she could recover the diamond, and then she put Wicks's body, basically filled that vat with hydrochloric acid, some sort of acid to dissolve the body.
Yes. Okay, so I have two questions here. So, she suspected that he would try to poison her with the pentobarbital because he had murdered Samson. So she was like, oh, I'm the only loose end in this equation. Of course he's going to kill me. And so that's why she had like just switched the coffees. But my question is, how did they get the body, Wicks's body, to Dr. Nat's house? Because Samson would have had to help Nat, right? Like, how did Nat do all of that stuff with just himself? He just dragged Monsignor Wicks's body all the way to his house?
I don't know. Yappers, do you know?
This feels like Dora the Explorer. Click here if you know how Monsignor Wicks ended up. Can you say wake up, dead man? Can you say cuerpo?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Can you say morir?
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So
Anyway,
that's the first question. The first question is yeah, like how did Monsignor Wicks's body even end up in Dr. Nat's house?
yeah.
And then the second question is, why did Martha have to position it like Monsignor Wicks was choking Nat? Was that just like oh, this is a holy moment where we have to keep up this illusion that Monsignor Wicks was the one who woke up, and then like somehow
I think so.
like
I think
kill
that was the
Nat?
only way that, like, nobody would question how Nat Sharp died, really, is if, like, there
Mm,
would have had to be a murderer, and putting Wicks's body there, like, got rid of that, aspect of it. Maybe?
I see.
And
It's
the
like
body was
all of
already
the dead
there.
people are kind of like killing each other, so then
Yeah.
there's no actual murderer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My second question is, why was Martha so into protecting this idea of Monsignor Wicks? Like, why was she so
Mm,
loyal to him?
I think she was loyal to his grandfather, Prentice. Because he kind
Mm.
of took her under his wing, and I think she was just kind of indoctrinated into his whole world, and so she just stayed really loyal to him and that specific church, and thereby to Monsignor Wicks.
Mm. Okay.
Not
Still ended
satisfied
up
with that
killing him,
answer.
though. No, not really. Because I think the whole plan was Martha's idea, and she enlisted Samson and Nat to help her
And what was his
because she
plan? He
found
just went
out
in there.
he just
Wicks's
called the
plan.
construction company and was like, "Oh, please open this up for me."
Okay, then I guess the question comes back to, why was there a need for a fake wolf head and a real wolf head?
Okay, so good question. So the need for the fake wolf head was that they needed the fake wolf to have blood in it.
Before Dr. Nat Sharp got in there.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Because that's what they needed to do in order to have this like what is it? Locked door mystery, because they
Yeah.
were like, he's like already dead because of this wolf head that's in his bag. But then Martha like created the distraction by falling on the cross, and then during that time Dr. Nat like actually stabbed him and like replaced the two wolf heads, and then was like,
Got
"Oh,
it.
it's a knife."
I see. Okay.
And
Okay.
that's
You know
why.
what? When I
Yeah.
was watching it, I did understand that, and then I got confused during our discussion again.
Me too.
Now that we've aligned on what happened in this movie, let's talk about it.
Excellent. Okay, next question. Who do you think was the real victim in this story?
Real
Because I think there
victim.
are several.
Samson for sure. Such a victim. Poor guy. Um,
Vera,
I think, yeah, Vera for sure. Harlot whore Grace was a
mm-hmm.
victim.
Simone for being taken advantage of with her donation
Oh,
money.
for her money? Yes, agreed. Um, maybe that's
Martha.
it. Was she a victim?
I mean, I think in some ways, because I feel like Martha really did try her best. Like, she put all of her faith into Monsignor Wicks. Like, she was so sure that he was, like, a good guy. Did the whole confession because Judd was like, "Are you sure that you can really trust him? Have you, like, can you go and confess to him your deepest sins and know that you
Wait,
will
but
be
she
listened
didn't.
to?"
She thought she was confessing to Judd.
No, she was confessing to Monsignor Wicks
No,
because
she
Judd
did.
challenged her.
No, she thought she was confessing to Judd. She said that at the end.
What?
That's why she came
Really?
out and, like, freaked out after the confession. Because I was like, why is she, like, freaking out after this confession?
Oh, I thought she did that intentionally because Judd was like, "Oh, can you even go to Monsignor Wicks and confess your deepest, darkest sins?" And then she was like, "Yes, I can." And then she went and confessed. But you're right. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she knew it
Oh.
was him.
Oh. Okay, because that's why she said at the end, like, "I confessed to the wrong priest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, poor Martha. Yes, she is a victim.
But okay, I don't think that makes her a victim because it's not like something bad happened to her. She just like didn't save the diamond that she did actually end up saving the diamond that she meant to save. But like
But
nothing
she was
bad happened to her.
burdened. She was burdened. This pious woman was burdened with this burning secret for over 60 years. And the instant that she decides to let it go and finally be free, she's made a mistake.
Okay, I guess she was made a victim by Prentice a little bit.
A little bit. Okay, I see your point.
Yeah.
It's not as powerful as like
It's
Vera.
not like something bad happened to her that was completely out of her control, you know. Besides being burdened.
Yeah, I mean, I think Prentice didn't really do the right thing by like burdening
Inviting
this
her
10-year-old
in.
girl. Yeah, like, hey, by the way, you are going to be the bearer of where my fortune is buried. You can't have any of it, mind you, but you're gonna know where it is.
Come on in. Watch me kill myself. See ya.
This is gonna be such a core memory for you, little girl. Yeah, poor girl.
True.
Poor
Okay.
Martha. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the women got the short end of the stick. And Samson.
Yeah, poor Sam. Okay, two themes I want to talk about. One is kind of the portrayal of faith, and then one is ties to society and politics.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Okay, should we talk about politics first?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I was thinking I do think they kind of tried to portray Monsignor Wicks as a Trump-like figure, right?
Yeah.
And
Like very MAGA.
his very MAGA, very like cult leader, my way or the highway. My crazy opinions are what make me so powerful and charming. And like his followers kind of fear him in a way. They're afraid to go against him. There are some things that I thought were like very obvious, but then I'm wondering if there was anything that I didn't catch about like the ties to politics.
No, I think that was it. I think I actually did read that there was some critical reception to the film of like, oh, this is so heavy-handed with the politics, and like the Knives Out series always kind of deal with what society is kind of going on with at the time. So last year's Knives Out movie was about Glass Onion, which is about this tech billionaire who is basically made a billionaire not because of anything he has actually contributed, but more because he was in the right place at the right time kind of thing.
And
is,
like all those
standing...
rich people were.
Yeah, exactly. Like not self-made at all, just happened to be in many ways extremely lucky or just like friends with the right people. Like the facade was gone. And I felt like that was a lot of what was happening last year where, I mean, there's always this focus on tech billionaires.
Yeah, but like Eat the Rich was such a vibe last year.
Yeah, exactly. Eat the Rich, that kind of thing. And then this year, obviously, it's all about like the MAGA stuff that's been going on. So it doesn't strike me as unsurprising that this has happened, but I actually think they did it in a really good way, where it's like, it's not that it has to be, if you're religious, you are anti everyone else, but it's more like there is a way to approach religion that does come from a place of love and comes from a place of grace and empathy towards other people, which I actually really liked.
Yeah, I totally agree. I thought they did a really great job of showing a positive side to religion as well, even though the whole plot was about how this religious figure was crazy and horrible. But I really liked the scene with Louise. I guess this is kind of going into the faith conversation. Okay, well, last thing about politics before we go into the faith conversation. When they said the term Pinot, priest in name only. Do you remember when they called Judd that?
Yeah.
And actually my sister told me this. I'd never heard this term, but apparently Trump refers to Republicans that don't follow him rhinos, Republicans in name only.
Oh, I
And
didn't
he
know
uses that
that.
term for, yeah, like the more moderate Republicans, I guess. And so,
Wow.
yeah, so I guess that one was a little on the nose.
Yeah. Wait, I didn't catch that at all. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah. And then last thing, when they were showing that scene of how he would kind of test newcomers by being really horrible to them, and then all of his followers just like stayed and watched it happen, and that was them making
Mm.
a choice. I feel like it was a really good parallel to, I don't know if it's like current society, but like, is it just bystanders of horrible things in general? Or was that specific to Trump's followers?
Um, it's probably both. I don't know. There's like a psychological effect that's like, oh, that person can't handle it, but I'm still here, so I'm better. I'm stronger. I'm on the right side. Something like that.
It's like, oh, those people are weak. They just don't get it.
Yeah, like
It's like, if they can't
reinforcement
handle
bias,
this. Yeah. Yeah.
something like
Okay.
that.
I
Yeah.
totally see it.
Yeah. But I guess like in the going back to your point about like religious and I guess like religious and having grace and the quadrant of like religious, not religious, and then having grace, not having grace, there is a character that represented like each of those quadrants, right? So like
Mm.
having religion, having grace was Judd. Not having religion, having grace was Benoit Blanc. Um having religion, not having grace was Monsignor Wicks, and not having religion, not having grace was Psy.
Yes, totally. Yeah. Oh my God, Psy. Let's talk about Psy before we get into the faith conversation.
Oh
While we're
my
on the
god.
topic of politics.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was another like very heavy-handed thing that happened when he was like, "Yeah, I tried to get into politics and like I tried like going anti this, anti this, anti this, anti this, and 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 this." And
So
it's like, oh my
funny.
god.
His delivery was so good. And then he started getting into acronyms. DEI, blah, 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 5G.
Yeah, I lost at 5G. I was like, dang, he's still going. Dang, we've had all these conversations. I was like, I'm surprised
So funny.
Tylenol didn't make the list.
Oh my God. Yeah, they probably wrote the script before the Tylenol thing. Otherwise, I'm sure it would have been included.
I'm sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, but his character was crazy. I also thought it was very interesting that they decided to make his character black and not a white
Mm.
man.
Okay, I think this was actually intentional, but tell me why you're surprised by that.
Just because, I mean, if you look at the stats of people that are of that political opinion, it's like by far mostly white in the super MAGA cult, very
Mm.
white power. And so, yeah, I was surprised that they decided to make someone who is that far right black.
I see. Yeah, I think so, but I think it was also well, I don't know how they did the casting, but I think it was intentional to like provide ambiguity over who the father actually was. So I
Totally.
think when you see like a mixed race character in a movie and you don't know the parentage, you're like, oh well, it's probably like these two races, right? But I don't know who and who. So I think the fact that Kerry Washington was like tasked with adopting this child, or Vera was tasked with adopting this child, it was like, oh, it is like probable, or it is not out of the question that it's actually her father's illegitimate son or something. But then,
Yes,
yeah,
but I think that same thing could have been accomplished with all white people, and they still chose to make both of those characters half black. And
that's true.
B, they could have used another non-white race, but they like I thought it was a very interesting choice to make it black specifically because of like Black Lives Matter and everything. That was all like during Trump's first term, and
Mm.
yeah, if I think out of all Americans, I should look this up before I say this. I think out of all Americans, if you break down their like voting trend by race, black was like by far the least supportive of Trump, by far.
I see. It is.
Okay, yeah. If we look at this chart, look at the most blue lines. The most blue bars are all black. It's like, black people hate Trump.
I see. Dude, I'm so confused as how to interpret this.
Percentage of voters who reported voting for each candidate. All right, I guess I will just start by summarizing what we just saw in that graph for yappers who could not see what we were seeing. So there was basically all of the races of Americans down the left side. And then for each election that Trump was in, it was 2016, 2020, and 2024. It showed for each race how they leaned, so red or blue. And the black group by far was the most strongly blue. And so I think that's why, and that's the impression that I had gotten from the last three elections. And so that's why I thought it was really interesting that they chose to make this super red pill character a black man. Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. I feel like maybe it was more of a casting decision rather than like a representative thing. I mean, like what? I don't know. Because like otherwise they would have to make the cast entirely white, which is also not really representative. Honestly, I thought they were going to go down this path of like, oh, the reason Dr. Nat's wife, who was black, left him is because she had an illegitimate son. But then that was like apparently too unhinged.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, maybe they were really fixated on casting Kerry Washington and they were like, okay, we need to bring on someone who could have been her half-brother. But they could have, if they weren't fixated on Kerry Washington, they could have chosen any other race to do this with, if they wanted some diversity, and they still chose black. So anyway, I just thought it was a really interesting choice. Not saying it's good or bad, but I did think it was very intentional.
It was a choice. It was a choice.
But not an intentional one, says Ruchi.
It was an option that they chose.
All right, let's move on.
All right, here we go. Oh, I have a fun fact. Did you know that the baseball announcer was actually Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
What? That's so random. Why?
Yes, and apparently, wait, who is Johnson? Okay, so the director is Ryan Johnson, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt is one of Johnson's main collaborators, and he also previously had voice cameos in Knives Out, in the previous Knives Out, as Detective Hard Rock in the first movie, and the hourly dong as the second movie in Glass Onion.
That's so random. I love that.
Yeah, I was looking up the cast in Wikipedia just so I would get like the names right and the character titles right. And it was like Joseph Gordon-Levitt cameos as the baseball announcer. And I was like, what?
Oh my gosh, what a fun Easter egg. Oh, I have a fun Easter egg that was actually not an Easter egg, but I thought it was supposed to be a fun Easter egg, which is that this entire movie, I did not realize that Monsignor Wicks was played by the guy that plays Thanos. What's his actual name? It's something.
Josh Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin. Okay, so that's who plays Monsignor Wicks. My dumbass thought it was Jeff Bridges the whole time. And so
yeah, they do look similar.
Yeah, and so when he was like, blah, 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 the Big Lebowski, I was like, oh, what a fun Easter egg, because Jeff Bridges was in the Big Lebowski. But it was
Different
not.
JB. Different JB.
And then I looked it up, and both of them were in True Grit, which I thought was also only Jeff Bridges. So...
My favorite type of bridges. Jeff Bridges. Every time I'm on a bridge, which is quite often actually, I'm like, oh, Bridges. Jeff Bridges. Oh, so dumb. Okay, anyway. What do you think? I think there's going to be another Knives Out that will come out next year. Yes. Okay, wait. So Knives Out, the first one came out in 2019. I think, wait, when did Glass Onion came out last year, right?
I actually don't know. I definitely watched it within the last year, but I was late to the game.
Wow. Okay. So remember when I said that I watched this every year with my family?
Yeah.
I meant every other year.
Okay.
Okay, because the original Knives Out film, okay, so Glass Onion came out November 23rd, 2022. The original Knives Out film came out um November 2019. Okay, so remember when I said that I liked it every other year? I meant every 3 years.
Okay. Just a every 3-year family favorite.
Look, I watch movies with my family every year, and sometimes they're Knives Out films. And I stand by that statement. Okay, so the next
cool.
Knives Out, if we involve pattern recognition, is going to come out in 2028. So, Shalini, what do you think the next Knives Out movie will be? Considering that it's generally about, like the zeitgeist of the time and blah, blah, blah. And 2028 is an election year, by the way.
That's right. Okay. So if it's coming out in 2028, it won't have the most recent election to draw from because that will be in November. So what do I think will be the main areas of focus for society over the next 3 years? I think it's possible that immigration could play a role. Perhaps climate change could play a role.
Oh, climate change. We haven't really seen that in Knives Out.
No,
The
we
real,
haven't. But it's
the
not as
real
like
murderer.
social.
It's
It's not
not a
as much of a like a
whodunit.
social thing. Yeah. Um, But maybe it could be done in a way kind of like Don't Look Up was done. Do you remember that movie with Jennifer
The
Lawrence
one
and
with
Leonardo DiCaprio and
the
Meryl Streep?
apocalypse movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Which I thought was an allegory to climate change because it was like, the world
Oh,
is ending,
yes,
but nobody
correct.
nobody wants to actually acknowledge it. So it might be done kind of in that way if they do it, which is like not really on the nose, but like similar themes. Um,
Yeah, I see that. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
What
That'd be
else?
interesting. I guess it would be weird to like spin that into a whodunit type thing, right? Because you have to have like a
Yeah.
single or at least like multiple murderers, like people you can point to and be like, "It was you."
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think they made this movie like the whodunit wasn't really around the politics. It was just kind of an interesting aspect of the main character.
That's true. I wonder if it will be some kind of like AI related something or
Ooh,
other in the future. Like
maybe.
it'll be some like, oh, actually, it was this AI thing that like misinterpreted this user query and like offed this person, something like that. I can see that
Yeah.
happening because who knows what AI is going to be in the next 3 years, right? It's going to be
True.
crazy.
True. Wow, this really shows who's in tech and who's not, because the way AI did not even enter my mind.
I was like, there was not enough AI in this. Oh, actually, I have another fun fact. Maybe related to AI, not sure. But there is this graphic that comes up at the end of Wake Up Dead Man where it's like in this flowery
Yeah.
script. There's like a bunch of flowers around it, right? So we saw it on Netflix. We saw it on Netflix on Friday, and Andrew immediately was like, wait, what the heck? They didn't clean up that graphic at all. And we were like, what are you talking about? So we paused it and we saw that around the graphic that there were some like weird gray spots where like you can see like around the edge of it that there was like some stuff that was not cleaned up. Like it was generated somehow and like put onto a black screen, but like the generation wasn't exactly black, so then they had to go and clean it up afterwards. But then they just got lazy and like didn't do half of it. It was weird.
What?
Yappers, if you notice this also, please let us know. I might make a reel out of it. I'm not sure. But it
You
was like really
should.
hard to tell. It was really hard to tell, I will say. So it wasn't like oh, like, this is crazy. It was just like, oh, that's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch it. Yeah, because I'm really curious what that means.
Okay.
Huh.
I might post on social just because I talked about it in this thing.
Okay,
So,
yeah. Do it.
yeah. But yeah.
So we never went back and talked. Well, I guess we talked a little bit about faith, but one scene I wanted to talk about was kind of Judd's journey with his faith and
Mm,
how it evolved over time. Because we kind of established that the reason he turned to Catholicism was because he felt so much guilt about killing this man during a boxing match. Because he like knew in his heart that his hate was intentional, or like the murder was intentional and it was driven by his hatred, but then God was so forgiving, and so he really saw that as a safe haven. And then I feel like in the middle of the movie, we kind of saw him turning on religion, and the way he just so enthusiastically was down to destroy that Fabergé of Jesus. I thought that was so interesting how he was like, yeah, do it, destroy the Jesus. And he was
oh,
just like
you're
kind
so
of, I
right.
saw that as a symbol of him kind of like losing touch with his faith and becoming really jaded. And then, but then I saw the scene with him, his phone call with Louise, when she kind of gets quiet and then starts talking about her mom. And it kind of like reminded him why he turned to religion in the first place. He was like, oh, I'm here for you anytime. Talk to me. And I saw that as his like coming back to it all. So I thought they portrayed that really in a really interesting way.
I totally agree. That was such a powerful scene because I think what it showed is that both Benoit Blanc and Judd were tempted by Eve's apple in that moment, right? They were like, "Oh my gosh, like we have to find this jewel, whatever. We have to find this code. We need to understand like how we can get access to the money." And so they were breaking apart Jesus and doing all these things. And then poor Luis was like, "Hey, I just want to tell you about my day. Just want to tell you about all these things," even though they were in such a rush. And then it was really nice when he was like, "You know what? I have time for you. I'm here for you." I was like, "My God, Judd, Father
Aww.
Judd."
Father
Yeah, I thought that was a
Judd.
really good moment. Yeah, it was him
Yeah.
coming back to the faith, coming back to why he was here in the first place, and kind of shepherding little Louise. Also, shout out to Louise for asking for help. That couldn't have been
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. Great job, Louise. Standout character.
Yeah. More
So
standout
sweet.
than Kerry Washington, to be honest.
Yeah, she had a way more meaty scene than Kerry Washington ever did. There was one scene where Kerry Washington, like, she, like, said something with her back to the camera and was like, blah, 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 and then turned and walked off, and I was like, whoa, that was so Olivia Pope. But that was her only Olivia Pope
Mm.
moment.
Yeah, I just remember the cigarette scene, like where she's like smoking a cigarette, being like, "I haven't smoked in 15 years." I was like, "Wow, you go, girl."
Oh, I also wanted to add on, after he found found his connection to faith again, which Louise helped him with. Then at the end of the movie, he really turned the church into what he wanted people to find, like
Yeah.
how he found religion, and like just a more welcome and um open place. So I thought that was really nice that he like put the cross back on the wall. It was more about being driven by like warmth rather than fear,
Mm,
which I think
yeah.
a lot of people think of Catholicism as a fear-based religion, but then, he kind of like put his own spin on it. And so, yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah. Oh, question. What do you think about, well, do you know if people in the Catholic Church also call their congregation their flock, or is it really just like a subset of their congregation? Like, is it always called a flock?
Oh, I'm not sure. I thought that was just how they referred to the suspects because they kind of like followed him around like a flock.
Oh, I see.
But
Okay,
I
I
don't
wasn't
know.
sure about that.
I could be
I had
wrong.
mixed feelings about that either way. I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then I was like, wait, is it? Isn't that kind of weird? Am I sheeple?
Who am I a flock to?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait, I need to think critically about this.
How do I feel about this?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I have a question that's more of like an overall question. So is there anything more specific about the movie that you wanted to talk about?
When he says that last parting line to Sai, he says something about something about how like you will find your treasure in Christ or something, or like you will find
Yeah.
blah 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 in Christ. And my sister and I were both like, oh, I bet it's in a Jesus statue, and it
Yup.
was.
And it was classic. We
Classic.
all saw that coming.
Yeah.
Oh man. I like what I like about the Knives Out movies is that all of the pieces are there from the beginning if you know how to look for it. So like even at the beginning or maybe in the middle when they were like, "Oh, Eve's Apple is like this 19-digit like code, Swiss account number." And then they open the box and in the box you can see that there's like a square imprint where there's like a jewel, right? They're like, "Oh, there's like a jewel that was here." And so that would be a clue to the audience that like you're looking for a jewel and not for an account number. In that moment, I was like, "Le evil apple." Like, how many letters is that?
Literally same.
I was like, it's some cipher code. We gotta figure it out. And then I was like, wait, it's only 12 letters.
L-E-V-I-L-A-P-P-E-L.
Exactly. I was like, chaperon. How many letters? Yeah. But then it wasn't.
Yeah. Too smooth brain to figure that one out.
Too smooth brain. Yeah, but those are the things that increase my enjoyment of the Knives Out movies.
Yeah. Totally.
So my final question is, out of all the Knives Out movies, Knives Out 1 that came out in 2019, Glass Onion that came out in 2022, and this movie in 2025, what would you put, what would be your stack ranking of the movies?
I think I did really love Glass Onion, but I think that one would probably be at the bottom for me, just because I really liked how both the first movie and this one, the main character was not Benoit, and Benoit was just kind of a side character who like came in and helped solve the case, but like the real emotional focus was on someone else. Like in the first one it was Ana de Armas, and in this one it was I'm forgetting, Josh O'Connor, Judd. And so that's why I would put Glass Onion a little bit lower. Between the first and the third, maybe the first one I would rank a little bit higher just because it was such a new concept and like such a fun, I don't know, just like so campy and so fun and like very new. So my enjoyment of that one was probably a little bit higher, but this one is a very close second. I thought it was really good. How about you?
I think, wait, so your final ranking is
1,
first
3,
one
2.
is first. Okay, 1, 3, 2. Okay. I think my ranking is also 1, 3, 2 because I think going into this discussion, it would probably be 1, 2, 3. But I think you raised a really good point about a really powerful point that should be made in today's society, which is you can have religion and not be an awful person. Like you can have religion and still have grace for other people and still love other people. And like that's what being like a good religious person is. Like that's what religion is supposed to teach you, is to have empathy for others, regardless of who they worship or who they are. So yeah, I think that's a really powerful point. So I think that's why I would rank it above the second one. And I think the first one was just so good because it was just like a classic whodunit mystery that you could sink your teeth into. And I think the way that they constructed the story was so good. So I agree with you. I think my scoring is also 1, 3, 2.
Nice. Yappers, let us know what your ranking would be.
Let us know in the comments and smash that like button. But actually,
yeah, please follow us on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify really humbled us with their Wrapped. They were like, wow, it's so crazy. You guys should have like 2,500 followers, but you only have like 2. That's so crazy. And we were like, excuse me.
Excuse us?
Yeah, it was very humbling. But for anyone who has listened to us and has already followed us and is continuing to listen to us, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and also, as this is our first episode after Wrapped came out, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who has listened to us this year. It's been such a fun outlet for us to, actually have a productive use for our binge watching. And you guys have made it so much fun as well. And we just love seeing comments from everybody and just discussions on stuff that we missed. So please keep that coming. And we're really excited for next year.
Yeah. And apologies in advance if you're listening to older episodes and you're like, wow, the song quality is shit. Or like, wow, I actually strongly disagree with what you've said. And then you comment on something and then we're like, yeah, we don't remember what we said, but like, you know what? You're so right. Just know that we got your back.
We will probably change our minds and agree with you simply because we don't remember what happened in the episode.
Just, you you guys are right all the time. So don't even trip. Okay, final ratings for Wake Up Dead Man.
I think since we have to do integers, I'll keep it the same. I do think quality could have been a 4.5, but because we have to do integers only, I'll keep it a 4.
Okay.
But yeah, enjoyment also 4 out of 5. Yeah.
I think I'll agree with you. I think I'll do 5 out of 5 for enjoyment because I did enjoy it, and then 4 out of 5 for quality because I wanted more Kerry Washington.
Yeah. Yes, nice.
Wow, that was so satisfying. I feel great.
Great. Me too.
Binge in progress.
Binge in progress. I'm still watching Homeland, which actually quite alarming because I remember last week when I recorded with Jing, I was on episode 6 of season 1. Now I'm on episode 4 of season 3. I did take a lot of this week off because of health reasons, so yeah, I got a lot in. Homeland podcast.
Binging.
Really living up to our name. And I just watched John Tucker Must Die with my sister yesterday, which was so
Throwback.
good. I love that movie so much. And it had so many. So we also recently watched She's the Man. And I've watched both of those movies so many times, but I've never noticed how many overlapping songs and actors there are. So Dirty Little Secret.
Oh, interesting.
Is featured heavily in both movies.
Dirty Little Secret
All-American
was featured
Rejects.
heavily in
a lot of
early
those
2000s.
Yep. Yeah, very true. And there are just some very side characters in both movies that are common. So yeah, that was fun.
I've been watching Pluribus. So I think episode 7 came out. It comes out every Friday on Apple TV. So I watched episode 7 with Andrew's family on Friday or on Saturday. It was pretty good. I've been enjoying watching it. It is very what the heck is gonna happen? And I'm worried that it's gonna turn out a little bit like Lost, where you're just like, what was all of that for? So we'll see.
Yeah,
TBD.
is it like a puzzle box show where there's big mystery and they're trying to solve it, but maybe kind of like Severance?
It's not exactly like there's a big mystery. So I think it's more like we know what has happened, but we don't know where it's going, like what the resolution will be. Because it feels like every episode is like, oh, I found out this big thing. And then the next episode, it's like immediately resolved. So it's kind of like, okay, so how's this going to end then?
Like, well, how is this building? Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's kind of big question mark. Yeah. And a bunch of other shows. I'll just talk about all of them since I'm not going to be around until January. So the other show that we've been watching is Southside on, I think that's on HBO Max. Also, very good show. It's about, the South Side in Chicago. And it's very similar to Community, where it's like there's a lot of like hidden jokes that are going on in the background that are just unaddressed. So it's kind of funny because it rewards you for paying attention, which I really enjoy those types of shows.
That's
So that one's
also
super funny.
so rewatchable, shows like that. Like Arrested Development too. You just catch different things every time
Yes.
you watch it.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, Southside was pretty good. We've also been watching a little bit of The Chair Company, which is a Tim Robinson show. I think that one's on HBO Max as well. That one's kind of weird. I don't know if I am like fully into it yet. It kind of stresses me
Okay.
out when I watch it. So those are the shows that we've been watching.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fun. All right.
How do we end this? Go to sleep, dead man.
I was gonna say see you in the new year.
Oh.
Well, I guess Yappers won't see you until February.
Yes. Well, okay, we should talk about this because Yappers, we are considering, because we kind of like push through during the holidays, we were considering on going on a January break. At the same time, there's like good shows coming out in
really?
January.
Fuck.
But maybe
Like
what we can do, okay, that's a good question. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I feel like there are like, I'm starting to now see trailers for shows and I'm like, oh no, I kind of want to watch this in January. So maybe what we'll do is we'll have like a light month in January. So if there's something that we really want to watch and like get it out and do an episode on and talk about, maybe we can do that in January. But otherwise we won't like push ourselves to do something every week.
that sounds
like
good.
that.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
We're making this up on the fly, to be honest. So you saw a little bit of the sausage making.
Yeah. We're both in new jobs, so we'll see how that progresses as well. Because I think next year is going to be pretty busy for both of us at work. So we'll see.
No. Yeah.
But if
We'll see.
you guys follow us and we get enough followers and we make enough money that we can quit our jobs, then we're all yours.
Yeah, we only need about 18,000 more followers.
We're so close, you guys. Just like 17,500 more to go.
Just about 17,999.
We lost one.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, anyway.
All right.
Thanks for yapping with us. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for yapping with us. If you loved this episode, have some hot takes we missed, or if you've got a show you're dying for us to binge next, follow us on socials. We're at Binge Yap Repeat.
Until next time, happy binging.